Hello guys and welcome back on my channel again. In the previous video we had seen how we can insert and how we can retrieve data from the database, and in the video previous than that we had seen how we can insert data and connect our database. I will connect those both of videos in the pop-up, so you haven't checked those videos, you can check those videos. Okay, so in this video we will see how we can update our data in the database and how we can delete that data. Okay, so before going to the video, if you want to see any blogs regarding my videos, or you want any source code regarding my videos, you can check my website. The link will be in the description. So let's just move to our code editor. So I will make a new file and save it in the same folder, and I will name it as edit.php. Okay, so this is my file. So now let me just select the syntax and name it as edit and save it, so and check it that if the file is well connected. So let me just write edit over here. So our file is well connected. Okay, so now let's move and write the code. So what I am going to do is I will create two files. Okay, so in first file I will show the data to the user that this is our data, and if you want to edit that data, then click on this button, and whenever user will click that button, then I will show the data again to the user in a form, and then I will allow the user to edit the data and then update the data. Okay, I hope you are getting it. So in our previous video I had retrieved the data from the database in the retrieve.php. I will use the same file, and what I am going to do is I am going to make another option in the table, and I will call it as action, and over here I will write as edit. Okay, and I will make another option for delete. Okay, if user want to delete the data, and what I am going to do over here is I will give a link of this file. So whenever user will click on the edit button, so then the user will be transferred to the next page, and on that page user can edit the data. Okay, and I will do the same thing for deleting. So let me just make another file for delete too, and save it. So okay, so let me just write two rows, two columns, I'm sorry, and what I'm going to do in these columns, I am going to give a link, and then I will send the ID of the user from this page to the other page, and then I will retrieve the data of that user using the ID. Okay, so let me just do it, then I will show you how you can do it. So I will give a link, and in the href section I will give the address of my file, which is edit.php. Then I will write a question mark, place a question mark, and then I will write the ID because I want to give the ID, and then equal to, and then we will write the PHP part, as we are going to give ID in PHP. Okay, and echo our ID. So this is the code for echoing ID. So what I am doing is I am echoing our ID, okay, in a PHP, just like the same I had done in this part. And then what I am doing, I am saving this ID in our ID variable, okay, or ID part. So this is the syntax, and then I am sending this ID and to this page, okay, whenever user will click this update button. So I will write over here update, okay, and this thing goes the same, goes for deleting. I will just write delete over here, okay, and instead of edit I will write over here action, because we are going to perform any action over here. And let me also retrieve the ID of user, so you can see that the ID when we give it to the next page, okay. So this is the whole code, okay. So what this code is doing, this will show these three things, and whenever user will click the update button, it will transfer the user to the next page, and then also with the ID, okay. So let me just echo these IDs to the next page, so when user will go to the next page, on clicking the button you can see the ID, okay. So I have to write PHP for that. So I will define a variable again as ID, and then what I am going to do, I am getting the ID from the previous page, so I will use the get method. So I will write get, then the square brackets, and then the ID, okay. And let me just include our connection file also, and let me just copy and paste same thing for this, and let me just save both the files. So now let me just refresh this file, okay. So I have to write retrieve over here. So now you can see that it is retrieving the ID, but there is a problem with the link, I guess. So let me just check it again. Okay, so there is a problem. I had to write the update and delete between those tags. Okay, now let me just save it and refresh the page again. So now you can see that there is the link. So whenever I will click on update, so it is not showing. Okay, okay, because I didn't echo my ID. Okay, let me just echo my ID. So now you can see that it is showing me the ID, okay. So whenever I will click on the second, it will show me the ID of second, and same for the delete, okay. Okay, so I hope you are getting the concept. And what I am going to do in these pages, I am going to retrieve data again, okay, and then I will give the user the authority to edit the data or delete the data, okay. So first of all, I will give the authority for deleting the data. So what I am going to do is, whenever user will click the delete button, the data will be deleted, because I don't have to give any other authority or any other option to the user, okay. So I will just write the query for deleting. So just write query delete from, then the table name, which is user, and then we will give our where clause because we want to delete data from a specific column, and then we will write the id equal to id, and then we will end our query. And then what we are going to do, we are just going to run our query. Okay, so I will also save the result in a result variable, and then I will write MySql I underscore query. Okay, so this is now our query has been ran. So what I am going to do, I am going to write an if condition, that if my query, if the result will be deleted, then show me as then go to the same page which is retrieved, and if the record has not been deleted because of any error, then show me an error. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write an if not result. Okay, so if there is no result, then echo error. Okay, and on the else part, I will transfer the user again to the first page, and for that we will use header. Okay, then we will write location, because we are going to give location, and then we will write the name of file, which is retrieve.php, and we have to write this in commas, quotes. Okay, so now this is the all the code for deleting. So let me just save it and run it. So now whenever I will click the delete button, you can see that I am going to click the delete button. Okay, so it haven't done anything. I think I have to refresh this page. Okay, so there is an error. I guess the error was in the retrieve file. I had given the address of edit PHP in this file too, so I have to change it and give it the address of delete. Okay, so now it will run fine. Let me just save it and again run it. So now I will click the delete. Okay, so there is another error. Okay, so there was an error with the local server, so I just had refreshed the page. Okay, then it will be gone. So now so whenever I will click the delete button, so you can see that the data will be deleted. So you can see that that record has been deleted. Okay, so this is all the logic for deleting. Okay, so now I will show you how we can update our file. Okay, so I will have to write the command for update. So let's move. Okay, so let me just echo the ID first. So you can see that the page is well connected. So let me just do it again. So now you can see that the ID is showing the ID. Okay, so now I will write the code. So first what I have to do is I have to retrieve the data again, and I have to show it in the form again. Okay, so user can update the data. So I will just copy my query from the retrieve part. Okay, so which is this, because we are going to select the data from the database, but we have to define the where class, where id is equal to ID. Okay, so now I have to show the data to the user what the user had already entered. So I will show the data in input fields. So for that I will just copy these input fields I had written in the first video, so we don't have to write the code again. Okay, so in there we will define one more attribute, which is value, and in the value section we will show our data. So for showing our data we have to write this same thing. Okay, so I will just copy and paste it. Okay, this is for name, and then this is for the password. And let me just remove the placeholder because we don't need the placeholder over here. Okay, and instead of submit I will name this button as update. So let me just placeholder update. Okay, so now just refresh the page. So whenever we click on update button, you can see that it is showing the name and then this is the password. Okay, so there is an error. So it is saying that undefined variable. It is because we haven't write uh, the row part, because we are using the row variable over here and we haven't saved the result in the row. Okay, so we haven't fetched anything. Okay, so let me just write this row MySql underscore fetch underscore array, and then I have to pass the result variable. Okay, and let me just remove this echo. Okay, now let me just save it and refresh this page. Now you can see that it is showing me the name and then the password. Okay, the password is in hidden because we had used here our password. So if we just change it to text, so then it will show me the password. So now you can see that it is showing me the password and the name. So this is the password. So now what we want that what our user want to update, write in the fields again and it will be updated. Okay, so what we are going to do, user will write anything over here or over here, and then it will click on the submit button or update button. The data will be updated. Okay, for doing this we will use the same logic we had to use when we are going to insert data in our database, because we have to insert the data again in the database, but instead of inserting we are updating the database. Okay, so that's the only change. So I will just copy the same data code and then I will just paste it over here and insert, instead of insert query I will write update query. Okay, so I will write update. Okay, then the table name which we want to update. Okay, then what we are going to do, we are going to set the values. Okay, so we will write set. Okay, then the first thing we want to set is the name. Okay, so we will write set name equals to the variable name, and we will write it in quotes. Okay, then comma, and then we want to update the password, then the password and then equal to, and then the commas, and then we will pass the password variable, and then we will run our. So this is all we are going to do. So I will write if condition that if the query had run successfully, then show me successful or any message. So I will write if echo run, or else echo and. Okay, so now let me just refresh the page. So I will go to the previous page again and refresh it too, and then I will click on update. Now you can see that it is showing me the data, and then I will change it. Okay, so let me just change it again to Monique, and I will give it a password to 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, now I will click on update. Okay, so it is not updating because we haven't specified the ID, because we are going to edit the data in a specific place. So we have to give a specific ID over here. So we will write there ID equals to the variable ID, and then the semicolon, and then I will save it again and run it. So let me just refresh the page, and let me just write again and submit it. Okay, so I had made another mistake, which is we are going to update our data, so we have to do it in a form. Okay, so I didn't specify any form tag over here, so I have to write form and then the method post. Okay, and then I have to end this form. So now it will work fine. So now you can see that it is showing me that the information has been updated. Okay, so as it is not showing me in this page, but it will show me in the other page. You can see that in our retrieving part, it is showing me the exact part. Okay, so this is how we can update the data. Okay, so if you want to see any project regarding how we can update data on a large form or anything, you can check my project video. So you will find a lot of information from there. Okay, so this is all for this video. Thank you.